Welcome back. It's dark today, hence the lighting. I've been thinking a lot lately about the goals I want to accomplish this year. The first goal being I want to finish my sketchbook by March. I don't know if it's the beginning of March or end of March, but sometime in that window of March, I want that sketchbook to be done. And I also just want to paint more in general in 2026. I feel like I just didn't paint enough in 2025. There's a lot of excuses I can make for that, but I'm kind of tired of making excuses at this point. I saw this girl on TikTok talk about how if one day you woke up with everything you ever wanted, you wouldn't be able to maintain it because you haven't built up the habits to maintain it. So for example, let's say you woke up with your perfect body one day. You wouldn't be able to hold on to that because you're not eating right and you're not working out currently, and you would probably just continue to do what you're already doing because working out and eating right is hard. You haven't built up the habit to actually do it to maintain that kind of body. Anyway, I just wanted to share some things that have been working for me to achieve my artistic goals this year and habits that I'm going to be building up, and hopefully these will be helpful for you. So let's get started. All right, so since my first goal is to finish my sketchbook by March, I figure, why don't I do some drawing while I talk to you? Some things I'm about to mention are things that I've just been trying out for the past few days and are totally new to me, but I feel like they have been working. Other things are habits that I know work for me and that I've been building up. The first thing I'm going to mention is something that I'm trying and it's new to me, and that is to be delusional. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not as delusional as some may think. I've heard a lot of people say that they pretend to act like the versions of themselves that they want to become. They make decisions as that ultimate version, and they try their best to alter what they think based on how they think that this person would think. It's all kind of just fake it till you make it kind of mindset. So far it's been working for me. I think that the changing my thinking part is the part that I'm kind of struggling with, but I feel like if I just continue to follow through with my actions, eventually my mindset will get there. The next one is that emotions are just emotions. This is a recent addition that I've made in my life, and I've realized that I'm someone who is very controlled by their emotions, to the point that what I end up achieving that day is entirely determined by how I feel, which you can imagine is not good for productivity. I think it's good to understand that your thoughts are not reality. Just because a thought pops into your head, that doesn't mean it's true or something that you need to act on. Emotions are just information. You can take that information and channel it into your art if you want to, but you don't need those emotions to determine how productive you are for the day. Your emotions shouldn't be the driving reason you're completing something or you're not completing something. And this may seem obvious to a lot of you, but it was revolutionary to me. I think it's also one thing to know this information, but it's another thing to actually put it into action. What I've been doing is breathing exercises mixed with grounding techniques to ensure that I come back to the present moment when I'm feeling overwhelmed. This helps me focus on what's happening in front of me instead of going internal for hours and hours. It's really helped me be productive and focus more on what I want to accomplish. Good morning. I am gonna go see if Brandon wants to grab a coffee with me today. If he doesn't, then I'm just gonna go alone. Which brings me to my next point. If you're a creative person, I feel like this would help a lot, which is artist dates. This is something that I was horrible at doing in the artist way, and honestly, I'm still pretty horrible at it, but I'm working on it. For anyone who doesn't know what an artist date is, it's just literally where you take yourself out on a date doing anything you want to do that you think would be inspiring to your own practice. It's important to do these alone. I personally just hate doing these things alone, which is why I prefer to have Brandon with me or someone else with me. I kind of understand that it defeats the purpose a little bit. I think the whole point of doing this activity alone is so that you can be the one to choose everything and then also be the one dictating how long you're spending doing each activity, or, you know, if you want to change things on a whim, you can without kind of catering to anyone else. I do find one of the reasons it's so difficult for me though is just like I get anxious About nothing, of course. I'm just anxious all the time. I think what I'm gonna end up doing for myself is try and do these activities with someone else, but ultimately if no one is available or if I decide that I am brave enough one day to do something by myself, then I'm gonna do it. One of the reasons this is so difficult for me to do on my own is, again, that anxiousness that I was talking about earlier, but also I just kind of feel like sometimes I want to experience things with other people, and I do really enjoy that connection. Sometimes for me, it's in conversation with others that I start thinking about artistic ideas, and so I find that part of it all inspiring as well. That being said, I feel like it's important for me to do things alone, so I'm gonna try to do things alone more often. And I hope you'll try too, because I think it might be helpful. There's so many other things you can do though. If you want to go to an art gallery or if you want to go on a hike, I feel like that's totally valid and can also inform your practice. Another thing I wanted to mention is writing. Writing is one of those things that I find has been so helpful to me in my practice. I started writing last summer and have continued with it pretty much every day. I think I've filled about 3 notebooks so far of just journaling. One of the reasons I really like doing it is because I can write out what I'm doing for the day, and then all of a sudden I just have a to-do list for the day if I felt a little bit directionless. And then another reason I really like it is because it helps me work out some internal thoughts or things that I didn't even know was bothering me. It's also great for coming up with ideas or just talking more about your practice and working things out yourself. So yeah, I like to do 3 pages every morning and write about whatever I want to write about. And there's no rules to it. There's no rules. You don't need to write about your day. You don't need to write about your internal feelings. You really can just do whatever you want to do. Totally up to you, but highly recommended by me. All right, time to go grab a coffee. Guess whose birthday it is today? It's Goosey's birthday today. She's turning 4. It's crazy to think about where all the time has gone. I literally think back to when she was a puppy like every single day. We're gonna be doing some birthday celebrations tonight, but I just wanted to leave you with my last piece of advice that I think is really important when trying to change things in your life, and that is to not give 100% in the beginning. Sounds controversial, and I'm gonna elaborate on this. I've noticed this about myself and so many other people, that in the beginning you have so much motivation to complete your goal, and then you just burn out. But we're here to play the long game. Going all in on your goal in the beginning makes you see how hard it is to accomplish your goal, and then your brain seeing how hard it is to accomplish that thing just says, you can't do this. This isn't sustainable. And it's not, okay? You need to start slow. Let's say your goal is drawing in your sketchbook more, which is my goal. You're not going to tell yourself that you're gonna do 10 pages of your sketchbook per day. That's just completely unrealistic. Maybe do like half an hour a day, or if you're having a particularly hard day, only do like 10 minutes or something. You need to start small in order to one day get to where you want to be. We're building here. We're not here to get instant gratification and then get upset when we don't achieve everything within like the first few days. I also just want to say that you shouldn't use this as an excuse to not do things. This is just a way for you to still achieve what you want to achieve, but just taking smaller steps to get there. Remember to reward yourself for doing that hard thing that you've been trying to do, whether that's doing a face mask or getting yourself that sweet treat you've been craving. It's good to implement little rewards for yourself that you've done that hard thing. Anyway, I really hope that you're all able to achieve your goals this year. I'm genuinely rooting for you and for myself. If you would like to share what has been working for you and what you're trying out, I would love to hear about it, or just some of the goals that you have in general for 2026. Drop them down in the comments below. That being said, that's going to be the end of this video. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to shop stickers and magnets, link is in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.